everyone. This is Tosha Pandya, Assistant Professor, Department of Pharmaceutical Technology. Welcome to the MOOC series, an initiative taken by LJ Institute of Pharmacy. So in this presentation, we are going to see about enzyme immobilization. So what is enzyme immobilization? It can be defined as a process in which the enzyme molecules are confined to a solid support over which a substrate is passed and you convert the substrate to the product. Or in other words, you can say immobilized enzymes are those whose movement in the space has been restricted either completely or to a small limited region. Okay. So this is a small process of enzyme production. First of all, as we know, enzymes are biological catalysts which increase the speed of biochemical reactions. Okay, so how are enzymes produced? Enzymes can be produced from any living cells, okay, or living organisms or microbes by different processes. They can be produced from the plants, from the animals, or from the microbes. Okay, so normally the selected strains, microbes are the most accessible things from which the enzymes can be produced. So the selected strains of microorganisms are taken for the culture. They are inoculated into large sterilized vessels containing previously sterilized and cooled nutrient medium, and the sterile air is passed through the bioreactor, is cooled with circulating water. The optimum temperature is 18 to 37 degrees Celsius. And finally, you get the enzymes which are produced and then they are purified. So normally the vessels used for sterilization purpose can be these two types, fluidized bed reactors and the continuous stir tank reactors. As you can see, the substrate is introduced from one end, okay, and on the from the other end you get the product by different processes. Okay, you have agitators which will agitate the nutrient medium in which the microbes are inoculated, and finally you get the enzymes which are produced. Okay, so the extracellular enzymes like the amylases produced from Aspergillus oryzae and the protease produced from Aspergillus niger are produced by semi-solid culture method on which the microbes are layered on a semi-solid culture medium. Okay, whereas the endocellular enzymes from Bacillus species, lipases from Aspergillus or Penicillium are produced by submerged culture method. Okay, in submerged culture method you have a tank which have agitators in which the inoculated microbes are rotated, and finally you get the enzyme which are produced, and finally they are purified. Okay, so what are the advantages of immobilized enzyme? As we know, the enzymes are consumed during the reaction. So we want these enzymes to be used for longer period of time in the industries. So some of the advantages of immobilizing the enzymes are the enzymes are protected from degradation or deactivation. It is also an economic process as we are saving the enzyme for a longer period of time, and that's how we are decreasing the cost of production. Moreover, we can stop the reaction anytime during the process by removing the enzyme from the reaction mixture. The stability is also enhanced. Moreover, the separation of enzyme from the product is easier. The product is not contaminated with the enzyme. That is a major advantage. Okay, so you can see which is highlighted. The enzyme retains this catalytic activity during the process. Now, for immobilizing the enzyme, we require different carriers. So what are the different properties, ideal characteristics of the carriers? So the ideal properties of the carriers are they should be inert because we want the activity of enzyme, not the carriers onto which they are bound. Okay, so the carriers should be inert in nature. They should be physically strong and stable. It should be cost effective. They should be regenerable, and finally should reduce the cost of production. Okay, so these are different carriers which are used. In short, you have the organic synthetic carriers like the polystyrene, polyvinyl alcohol, acrylic polymers. You have the inorganic carriers such as the porous glass, silica, bentonite, etc. And you have organic natural carriers like the cellulose derivatives, dextran, agarose, etc. Each class of carriers have different advantages. Like the inorganic carriers, they have a good strength, whereas the organic natural carriers, they have a greater biodegradability as they mimic our body cell cultures. Okay, next, these are the different types of enzyme immobilization. First are the physical methods, which are reversible in nature, like the adsorption, ionic bonding, affinity bonding, chelation, disulfide bonding, Okay. Then you have the chemical methods like the covalent bonding and the cross-linking, and finally you have the mechanical methods like entrapment and microencapsulation. We'll see the most used methods in detail. Okay. So first is the adsorption. As the name suggests, what is adsorption? It is a surface phenomena, okay, onto which we have a molecule onto which the enzyme is adsorbed. So here we have carrier on which the enzyme is adsorbed. Okay. So the enzyme is adsorbed onto a support or a film material, which is the simplest method for obtaining an immobilized enzyme. As you can see here, you have the carrier here onto which the enzyme is adsorbed. Okay, this attached to the surface, that is known as adsorption. Here weak interactions are involved, as we are talking the process is reversible in nature. Okay, so weak interactions are there between support and the enzyme, such as the ionic or hydrophobic interaction, hydrogen bonding, and the van der Waals forces. So the carriers used are normally the inorganic carriers such as the alumina, activated carbon, bentonite, porous glass. Organic synthetic carriers used are polystyrene, nylon, and the natural organic carriers can also be used like the chitosan, dextran, gelatin, cellulose, and the starch. Okay. The method normally consists of simply mixing an aqueous solution of enzyme with the support material for a period of time, after which the excess enzyme is washed away from the immobilized enzyme on the support. Okay, the enzymes which are immobilized by adsorption are catalase, invertase, etc. So the advantages of immobilization by adsorption are it is a simple method, moreover it is economical method. We have limited loss of enzyme activity. Moreover, the enzyme can be R cube. Okay, R cube means it can be recycled, it can be regenerated, and can be reused. Okay, the disadvantages are you have relatively low surface area for binding. The exposure of enzyme to microbial attack is possible in this process, and the yield are often low due to inactivation and the resorption process. The next cat in the category of physical method is the ionic binding. Ionic binding, whenever you're talking about ionic, it is including charges. Okay, so normally the charges are involved here. So based on the ionic binding of an enzyme molecules or active molecule to the solid support containing ionic charges. Okay, the strength of interaction here as we are involving charges is much stronger. Okay, it is much stronger than the adsorption. So here you can see you have the positively charged carrier and the enzyme which is negatively charged enzyme cell surface, and you have the ionic association. The support used for ionic binding may be based on polysaccharide derivatives, example dextran, pitosan, or carboxymethyl cellulose, or synthetic polymers like polystyrene derivatives, and inorganic materials like alumina, silicates, bentonite, etc. So today we have seen what is enzyme immobilization, we have seen the advantages of enzyme immobilization, and finally we have seen what are different carriers used, the properties of the carriers, and we have seen the different methods used. And today we have seen two methods in detail, that is adsorption and the ionic bonding, which are the part of physical adsorption, physical methods of immobilization. The next methods we'll see in the part 2 of this MOOC series. Thank you everyone. Please do like, share, and subscribe our YouTube channel Pharma Ignite, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get regular notifications so that you do not miss out any of the topics in this chapter. Thank you.